Welcome to our language school, The World, where our expert teachers make mastering authentic English easy and fun. Do you know the difference between I worked and I have worked? Do they sound the same to you? Many learners of English find it actually quite difficult to use these tenses properly and often make mistakes. These are the past simple, which is a basic tense in English, and the present perfect, which is a more advanced tense. In this video, we are going to help you to review and deepen your understanding of the difference between these two tenses, which are very important and they are commonly used in English. Before we start, however, we kindly ask you to please click on the subscribe button so you never miss out on all our free content, and also our channel can continue growing. Your support means the world to us. Thank you. So let's get going, and let's start by quickly recapping the structures. Okay, so the past simple. For regular verbs, we simply add ed to the base form of the verb. For example, to work, the past simple will become I worked. We add just ed to work. Or walked, or played. However, English has lots of irregular verbs, like, for example, go becomes went, be becomes was, see becomes saw. This is the second column of the irregular verb lists that you can actually find anywhere online on the internet. And the only thing you have to do here is learn them by heart. What, however, is good news is that these are verbs that we use often in English, and so it's probably easier to remember them. Now let's move on to the present perfect. Now this is made with the present tense of the verb to have plus the past participle. For regular verbs, again, we have has or have plus the verb plus ed. So for example, have worked, or has walked, or have played. For irregular verbs, the same goes as for the past simple. The past participle, it is the third column usually of these tables of irregular verbs that you can find anywhere online. You just need to type in irregular verbs in English and you will find lots of material. And it is as I said, it is the third column, and the only thing you can do is learn them by heart. Okay, so now the real problem is, how do we use these two tenses? And these actually look a lot like tenses that are in other languages, but they work a little bit different. So, are you ready to start? Let's go. The past simple, what do you think it talks about? Yes, it talks about the past. It talks about an action that started and ended in the past. That's basically it. For example, I worked yesterday. It's just telling you about something that I did in the past. So it's finished, it's over, it's something I did yesterday. The present perfect is a little bit different. It connects the past to the present. For example, I have worked all day and now I am so tired. So it is saying I have worked, I did something all day, and as a result, there is some effect now. And the effect is that I am tired. So there is a connection between the past and the present. Something that you did in the past has a result or an effect now. So we can say that the first major difference in their use is whether you're talking about a finished or unfinished time. What does that mean? let's look at these two sentences to understand what it means. I haven't been to the gym this week. This is the present perfect and it is used for an unfinished time. It is still this week. The week is not over and I might still be able to go to the gym. Maybe it's Wednesday and I could still go to the gym on Thursday or Friday. So the week we are speaking about has not finished and therefore it is an unfinished time and we use present perfect. Now let's look at the second sentence. I went to the gym last week. This is the past simple and it refers to a finished time. Last week is over and I did go to the gym twice. So for finished time, we use the past simple. Now let's look at another two sentences. John works in New York. John has worked there for 5 years. Here we have the present perfect, and this is used for unfinished time. This means that John is still working in New York. Now, if I say John worked in Rome for 10 years, now he works in Paris. In the sentence, we have the past simple, and therefore we are referring to a finished time, and therefore John no longer lives in Rome. The present perfect is used for a period of time that continues until now. For example, today, this week, since 1999. Whereas the past simple is used for a finished time in the past. For example, yesterday, 3 weeks ago, last month, in 2023. So the present perfect is used to refer to an unfinished action. Let's compare another two sentences. I haven't finished my homework yet, and I finished my homework an hour ago. If you think about these two sentences on a timeline, I haven't finished my homework yet means that I started my homework at a specific time in the past and it is not finished yet. It means up to now. Whereas I finished my homework an hour ago, in this sentence is in the past simple, and it is referring to a definite time in the past, and the action is completed or finished. We also use the present perfect to talk about life experiences because it is an unfinished time. Your life is unfinished. You are still alive. And we often use the present perfect to start a conversation about our experiences. And also, if we want to ask about or give more details, then we use the past simple. So, for example, you can say, I visited some country in Asia. So you haven't finished and you might visit some more countries in Asia. But if you talk about a specific trip, in the past, you say, I visited China last year. This is a finished time, last year, so you use the past simple. Have you ever eaten snails in your life? This is unfinished, remember, so we use the present perfect. No, I haven't. I might eat it in the future. But if you say, I ate frog's legs once at Christmas, staying with my French friends in Paris. Here you are referring to a finished action. The action is in the past and it's finished, and so we use the past simple. Let's look at two more sentences. My sister is looking for her keys. She can't find her keys. She has lost her keys. She can't get into her house. This means that she doesn't have her keys now. The present perfect is a present tense. It always tells us about the situation now. Let's look at another sentence. My sister lost her keys yesterday. She couldn't get into her house. Here we use the past simple. The past simple tells us about the past. It doesn't tell us whether she has her keys now or not. It just tells us only that she lost her keys yesterday. and this is a finish time, and so we use the past simple. Now we use the present perfect also to talk about new or recent events. For example, I've repaired my motorbike. It's working now. So this is a recent event. It has an impact on my present. It is working now. It was broken, now it is working. Or, have you heard the news? Joanne had a baby girl. She has recently had the baby, so we use the present perfect. While we use the past simple for things that are not new or recent. For example, Shakespeare was a writer. He wrote over 30 plays. This is old news, so we use the past simple. Another point, and I think this is the last one, is that in British English, we use the present perfect to talk about an action or a situation in the past that we don't know the exact time, or that the exact time isn't important. So for example, I've invited the Browns for dinner. It is not important when it happened, I have done it, so I'm not specifying a time. While we use the past simple to talk about a specific time in the past. For example, I met my sister yesterday. So now it's your turn. Let's practice what you've learned. I'm going to tell you some sentences and questions. Some are correct and some are incorrect, and you're going to help me decide which ones are right and which ones are wrong. So let's start with number 1. I have visited my sister yesterday. Is this right or wrong? Actually, it's wrong. And why is it wrong? Think about it. Yes, I have visited. What is the tense? Present perfect. I have visited, but then it says yesterday. So yesterday is a finished time. So if we keep the word yesterday, we cannot use the present perfect. So you have to use the past simple. So you would have to say, I visited my sister yesterday. Okay, number 2. Did you see the doctor last week? Is that right or wrong? Yes, this one is correct. We say last week, so it is past simple. Did you see? So that is the past simple. Number 3. Have you heard the news? Do you think this is right or wrong? Well, this one is also correct. Have you heard? What tense is it? Yes, it's the present perfect. And does it say when or anything? No, it doesn't. It just says, have you heard the news? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Number 4. When have you sent the email? Is this right or wrong? Well, think about it. It is wrong, exactly. And you understand why? Because we are asking for a specific time in the past. So we cannot use the present perfect. We have to use the past simple. The correct question would have been, when did you send the email? And let's go to number 5, the last one. I have applied for a job last week. Do you think this is right or wrong? Okay, this is incorrect. And why? Exactly, because I have applied, that is the present perfect, but we are talking about a specific time reference, which is last week. So the two do not go together. So you have to say, I applied for a job last week. Okay, here's a bonus one. I have never been for a job interview. do you think is correct, or is it wrong? Exactly. This is correct. I am not giving any time reference. I am talking about a life experience, and so I use the present perfect. Okay, so here we are at the end of our video regarding the differences between the present simple and the present perfect. I hope you enjoyed it, and you need to keep on practicing and make sure that you're using the right tenses. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more tips on effective communication in English. See you next time.